Now, the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria has commenced the fourth batch of an in-house intensive training on tax audits in the oil and gas industry for senior officials of the Gambian Revenue Authority. Speaking at the opening ceremony of the training in Lagos, that's a Monday, the president of CITN, Mr. Samuel Agbeluyi, emphasized the urgency for the African continent to unite and strive for excellence across all aspects of human endeavors through collaborative efforts aiming for greater accomplishments.
If I may have to blow the trumpet of CITN, the feedback from the first three batches have been very good, and that is what has given birth to this current team who are here for this training. Not only that they are happy to come and take us as their trainer, they are also giving that information to other West African countries, what CITN in Nigeria is doing to make sure that they up their game in terms of tax administration and practice in their various locations. Sometimes we may not appreciate what we have in the country, but I am proud and happy to say that Nigeria is the giant of Africa, and we have a lot of things to give to our brothers and sisters in Africa to make sure that we all develop together.
We are here to have training on the oil and gas sector, which is a way of building the capacities of our auditors. Because as we all know, domestic revenue mobilization is a priority area of our government, considering the fact that donor fatigue is the order of the day. So therefore, to build the capacity of your tax officials in order to be able to audit these oil corporations to bring the needed revenue for the government is very, very important. And having this long relationship between the Gambia Revenue Authority and the Nigerian Tax Institute, we feel it deemed fit to come here and train the staff to enable them to be able to build their capacities and acquire the necessary skills for the auditing of the oil sector.
With me live in the studio is the President and Chairman of Council of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, Mr. Samuel Agbeluyi. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. It's good to have you live in the studio.
Good afternoon. Happy New Year.
Yes.
And congratulations on this state-of-the-art studio you have here.
Thank you so much.
A very good one.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we appreciate you coming in. I think we should start with Gambian authorities coming to Nigeria to tap from the knowledge, particularly from CITN. Tell us more about this and why the oil and gas industry. What's special about that audit that needs this special expertise?
Okay, thank you very much. Our relationship with the Gambia Revenue Authority dated back 2019. Specifically, the president of the institute then was Dim Olajumoke Gladys. We both visited that country and we saw the need to collaborate. And I need to tell you that CITN is a founding member of WAUTI. WAUTI is West African Union of Tax Institute. I'm currently the second deputy president of that institute. So we have the umbrella to collaborate in the sub-region. And I must tell you, some other countries in Africa are learning from Nigeria's experience. They don't want to have a share of the oil cost. As we speak, the Gambian government has not started oil exploration. They are looking at that happening anytime from now. And in preparation for that, in order not to have Nigeria experience, as I said earlier, they are looking at doing something, getting their manpower, both in the Revenue Authority and other aspects of the sector, that we forge together and make sure that they prepare for the opportunity that lies ahead of them. That is the reason why, that is one of the reasons that has brought about this. And of course, like you rightly said, this is the fourth experience. This is the fourth time, and they are coming. In the past, we have trained them on compliance, risk management, change management, and even this tax audit. Another department has come this time around. Taxation, we keep on saying, is technical. And so if you are in that space of knowledge, you will know that oil and gas is extremely technical. And if you follow that trajectory, the audit of that technical work requires a lot of knowledge. Not every tax professional you find in the aspect of taxation of oil and gas sector. And that is why we keep on saying taxation is wide. So because of that specialized knowledge that is required to undo the collection, enumeration, collection, and accounting for whatever is coming from the oil sector in the nearest future, they are preparing, and Nigeria is happy to partner with them so that, of course, once we all develop properly in Africa, then it's good for us. It is not in the interest of Nigeria to be the giant and be doing well, while other countries in Africa or West Africa, they are not doing very well. This is our focus, and we appreciate our relationship with the Gambian Revenue Authority.
It sounds good, but it looks like there are some basic challenges maybe in auditing in the oil and gas industry that is calling for this. And what really do you think will be part of the take-home of this, that the Gambian authorities when returning to their country? Okay,
like I said earlier, depending on your background, depending on how you got into taxation, you may think taxation is easy. And if it is easy, possibly we won't have the kind of national debate we are having now, because it is difficult, it is technical, and you need a lot of background. And the background of economics is important, the background of law is important, and the background of accounting. You need this tripod to actually be a good tax professional. Now, once being a tax professional, having that knowledge is one. Specializing in the area of oil and gas is another different kettle of fish, all put together. It is not, you don't find everybody in that arena. So if you are good in that place, you are good.
Yes.
And of course, these professionals from Gambia, they have realized the importance of this and the knowledge gap, and that is one of the reasons why they have reached out to Nigeria. And I tell you, we have a lot of our professionals, a lot of members of the institute who are very good in this area. And I also tell you, Federal Inland Revenue Service have a lot of good people who have been trained across the world, who can stand their own anywhere. So that resource we have in terms of women is what we are giving to the Gambian Revenue Authority. And of course, if we say this is the fourth experience, their fourth time of coming to Nigeria, it means the feedback from the first three has been impressive. And it may interest you to know that the Tanzania Revenue Authority, they are also in discussion with CITN.
Wow.
It is to make sure that what we have, we share with our other African countries, so that together we can develop. And you see, we say in the tax arena that taxation is jurisdictional, but it is also global. You will need to draft and administer your personal income tax subject to your peculiar needs in the country. That's part of what is going on in the National Assembly. But you can't ignore now, in 2025, you can't ignore the global aspect. And that's why in recent time, OECD, UN, and the likes, they have played a major role in making sure that there are certain aspects of taxation by virtue of the global economy that cannot be left in the hand of a specific jurisdiction. There must be some commonality, uniformity across the world. And this we are also addressing in training this set of people.
Great. Now, let's look at the tax reform bill, which is something that you know that definitely I want to talk about. It's still generating comments across the board. Well, we are getting feelers that people are getting to understand some key facts in this document. But you are the president of CITN, and you've reacted to this bill, of course, before now. At the moment, what is your understanding of it, and what are your expectations?
Well, my expectation is that after this dialogue, one, the dialogue is expected, it's good for us. Everybody needs to come to the table, put your position on the table, let us discuss. That is the best way to go. We are a civilized country, and what we are doing is another part of people who are civilized. So CITN does the discussion, the dialogue that is going on that bill. I don't see opposition. I see different perspectives. So those who have different perspectives must be allowed to bring in their perspective. And at the end of the day, we sit together and Nigeria will be the best for it. Because I tell you, in my lifetime, this is the first time we're having an amendment or a total overhaul of the tax laws in the country. And once we get it right this time around, then of course, the next or the natural consequence is that Nigeria will move upward in terms of tax revenue. And once we move upward, because nobody, if you just go through the budget of 2025, the proposed budget, and we are looking at a revenue of 33 trillion. If you convert that to dollar, how much is that? So Nigeria's budget is still small, and that can speak to the fact that Nigeria is still not a rich country. So once all the deliberations are concluded and we step out to implement this, it will be a major shift, positive one for that matter, in getting domestic revenue mobilization for public expenditure. We will say that is not going to be sufficient in order to move Nigeria forward. So we also recommend that the government will need to do a lot and to get great benefit of this bill that is coming. The federal government and the state government, even the local government, must also be transparent and accountable. We won't be tired of saying this. If you collect money from me, kindly let me see you spending that money for me. And once that is done, we are too sure that Nigeria is great, and it will be greater than even what we have now.
The issue of equity comes in, the issue of these reforms to drive economic sustainability comes in, and I've seen you react to that too. What do you make of this? Because everyone has one comment or the other with regards to this bill.
Equity is good for us. It's good. Equity is good for the system, and that must not be ignored. And the most controversial aspect of this bill, which is the sharing...
the VAT. Is it the VAT?
The VAT sharing
yes,
formula.
It's a big one.
It's a big one, and our position in CITN is that any sharing formula that you want to adopt should look beyond the economic variable alone. You should go beyond that. You should also look at the social variable, and you look at the political variable. You put all this on the table, and you juggle the figure. Once we do this, of course, because if you strictly look at economic consideration, it may not address other variables that, if you leave behind, may come back to haunt that economic variable you have picked as the sole consideration. Your neighbor must live well.
Yes.
There must be stability in your neighboring state before you can enjoy whatever prosperity you are getting. And that is the reason why everybody's interest must be considered as a nation. Once we grow together, just like we told the Gambian yesterday, the same thing is applicable to Nigeria. Once Nigeria grow together, we stand to win together. And once we win together, Nigeria will be great. I'll give you an example. Why is it that if you go to Lagos toll gate, every minute you see people trooping into Lagos? It's because you have opportunities in Lagos. So can we replicate this opportunity in other places? And in order to replicate that, you must consider certain variables other than economy. Once they develop in those other places, then the need to come to Lagos for survival will not be there. Once that need is not there and people are not trooping to Lagos, then there will be less pressure on infrastructure in Lagos, and there will be more economic activities in those other states. So we recommend that this dialogue must continue, and the bill, we pray, will be passed so that we can get to another level of tax administration and practice in Nigeria.
And that's my almost final question. Tax administration, the role of practitioners, tech is all over the place. I know you've been doing a lot in trying to make your members put that into consideration. But as we move on in 2025, government expects a lot from the non-oil space, and exactly, tax is that place to go. How prepared are tax administrators in your thoughts and looking at what we have today?
I'm happy to say the tax administrators are prepared. I give you two agencies. These two agencies, we need to announce the figure themselves, but Lagos State Internal Revenue Service surpassed their budget expectation in 2024. FRS surpassed this. So it shows that we have people, we have capable people in this place, in these two agencies and other agencies across the country, not just Lagos State Internal Revenue Service, not just FRS. I'm in contact with all the state chairmen of Internal Revenue Service, and they are doing very well. They are deploying technology. And we are not just resting on our oars. We are also saying there must be continuous training, and that is what CITN stands for. We have areas of training we have mapped out for 2025. We did a lot in 2024, preparing our members for the opportunity and challenges coming with the proposed bill. We won't wait till the bill is before us before we start preparing. We are already looking at various scenarios. We are doing simulations. Should the bill go to the right? What is going to be the outcome? Should it go? So CITN is ready to move, to contribute positively to the growth of Nigeria.
So we are likely to beat that tax to GDP ratio that we've been talking about for so long. Are we likely to improve it significantly?
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. The taxpayer and the government, once we do what we are supposed to do, and again, government, when we give you money, please spend it for Nigeria.
Very important.
Yes.
I think that's a strong message. Let's leave it at that. Mr. President, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, I've been speaking to Mr. Samuel Agbeluyi. Thank you so much for coming to the studio. We appreciate this. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Still to come on the show, still talking about